Good evening again. Welcome back, guys. We are broadcasting the final segment of what turns out to be a final winner-takes-all match between Gauteng and the Western Cape. This is part of the South African Interprovincials that started over the weekend. Gauteng has built up a very healthy lead in the first segment of this match. They are leading by 32 imps at this stage. My name is Zenny Fick. I'm a bridge teacher and lover. I hope you enjoy the commentary. East-West, we've got Craig Gower and Alon Apteka, one of South Africa's top pairs. Lots of international experience. North-South, we have Imtiaz, Capri, and Marine Naransky, also very experienced players. They were our national pairs champions a couple of years ago. So, two very good players. All right, so Craig starting out with 1 diamond, a weak jump overcall, and a normal 3 diamond competitive raise by Alon. I think Craig is weighing up his options here as to obviously whether a game is possible at all. Imtiaz, after the 3 diamond bid, deciding with his really weak hand and with it being so balanced, not to compete to 3 spades. He's obviously seen his partner's weak 2 overcalls before. All right, so if Imtiaz did bid 3 spades, Craig would have shown a better hand that was potentially interested in game by probably doubling that, a type of maximal double, saying, partner, I think we could still be in business here. But Craigie just taking a punt here and hoping for the best. With the diamond finesse unfortunately being off, as well as the heart finesse, I don't think Craig has got much play here, losing a spade as well. He would have hoped for the heart finesse to be one of these finesses to be on. I suspect he'll take the... he's got a problem. He's actually got a bit of a problem getting to the dummy. He'll have to use the ace of clubs to do so, and in that way open himself a little bit in the club suit. All right, so we're going to win the first trick with the ace of spades, and I don't think there's any need for... okay, Imtiaz deciding on a switch here. Imtiaz choosing a switch because he's to his and hearts might have to be played does have to be played from his side if there's a position like ace queen over the declarer or so. So Imtiaz in the knowledge that the second spade wouldn't hold the trick. Our partner has shown 6 and we've got 4. Craigie had played his last one on the first trick. He decided to switch to a heart, which I think is correct. In case we need to maybe play that suit from our side. Okay, so Craigie will still have high hopes here, especially in view of the weak jump overcall by South, that the King of Diamonds might well be in the north hand, but not so on this hand. So we're going to get a claim soon for 1 down, the 3rd club in dummy going on the 4th heart from his hand. Okay, so Craigie with good position, good finessable positions in diamonds and hearts, just taking the bull by the horns at game. in case partner was pretty weak or a bit weaker, without the right cards, I think he could have been he could have tried for game, maybe bidding 3 hearts, being a pretty natural type bid in that situation. But of course, making these bids also give the opponents more information about what they might want to lead, etc., etc. So I think that's why Craig chose the direct option to 5 diamonds. Okay, so don't know how many of us might overcall a heart on this hand. I don't think that's a good idea. Craigie, that 2-spade bid would be music to Craig's ears, sitting over Imtiaz's hand and having nice defensive prospects with his king jack to 4 spades. All right. So if a Lon had some more values and maybe doubled for takeout, I think Craig might have well set that and defended 2 spades doubled. All right, so spade lead back. Definitely conceding a ruff here. The defense has another diamond trick, no heart tricks, and with the club position very favorable, I think we're going to see Declarer quite comfortably making 3 diamonds. The 10 of spades from Imtiaz, quite a clever card, potentially pinning that 9 of spades in the dummy. Otherwise, Declarer could have really just run the spade around to the 9. Maybe also meant it as a bit of a suit preference signal for a heart back from partner, hence the heart shift. Right for South not to obviously play clubs here. Let Declarer again do his own work. I think we're going to either see another heart or a diamond from Maureen here. Okay, so yeah, we can very easily all go wrong. In the north hand, we know Declarer's got the ace of hearts, so no need to put on that queen to put the king. And now our king is at least still preserved to cover the 9 in dummy. So third hand does not always play high necessarily. When it can't gain anything, it can only help Declarer, and we should normally not do that. Okay, so I think Craig is going to club finesse straight away. He is looking at the possibility, I think, of end playing North in case North had both the king and queen of clubs. We can see that the king and queen is on sides, but Craig does not have that knowledge that the cards are so favorable. Of course, with ace jack 10 opposite 3 little, we know that we take a double finesse to the jack and to the 10. Normally playing for split honors between the 2 hands, or in this case, both on side. So yeah, I think Maureen can't really win by not splitting her honors. So that solves all problems here, and Craig will make 3 diamonds. Okay, so the first board's result duplicated in the other room. Contract of 5 diamonds reached there as well. All right, so it should start pass. I think Imtiaz should in the third seat, especially with his good diamonds, which might get us off to the right lead if the opponents do finally buy the contract. I think it will go pass, and he should open one diamond here. In third seat, almost anything goes. Best to fire the first salvo in these auctions. Craigie, of course, has a hand with which he would not have bid. So I think we're going to see one spade here. Imtiaz will just rebid one a trump. And Marimo now will have the choice of bidding two spades. 10 points, remember 10 points opposite 12 to 14 is not game material. So Marimo's got to really decide, does she pass here or does she just bid two spades? Now, generally, we opt to rebid two spades, pretty similar to the situation where we, if our partner opens a no trump and we have a 5-card major, it's normally best to transfer and just play in our major with a hand that doesn't have game interest. So I think Marinia, I think she might still be weighing up, just thinking about a game, but 10 points balanced opposite 12 to 14 balanced, that's not normally a story of success. So I think she might be contemplating it. Okay, so she is going that route. Two-way check back. This forces the north hand to bid two diamonds, after which Maureen would bid two spades, having invited game. So two spades directly over 1-0 trump would be just to play. Yeah, she's gone this route, and now she's going to bid two spades, saying, partner, I've got an invitational hand with 5 spades. And of course, Imtiaz is going to find a pass card very, very quickly. All right, so pretty normal contract and actions. I think that will be duplicated in the other room as well. Maybe apart from inviting on this hand, I don't think it's good enough to invite. You will very rarely find that you're going to make game with 10 opposite 14, especially if the 10 is rather balanced. Okay, so Alon leading the ace of hearts, Craigie playing the 10. Now, the 10 is an attempt to say low, I like. Craigie can't help that he was dealt exactly the jack and the 10 of hearts. So he's trying to say low, I like. And Alon doesn't want to continue because he's not quite sure how to read that signal. Okay, so with the spades breaking nicely, we're losing 2 spades. We're losing with the jack of hearts now being a lone card in Craig's hand. Well, yeah. Another spade. Craig will hop here with the ace, and I think shoot back the jack of hearts immediately, and he the rough. So 1, 2, 3. A queen of diamonds as a trick, king of hearts as a trick, and a rough for the defense. That should get us to 2 spades -1. On board 2 in the result duplicated the on board 2. 3 diamonds making by east. Okay, so Alon should know here that, well, with the 10 being played by Craig and now the jack, Alon would know that it wasn't jack 10 little, because we tend to play the jack with that holding normally when our partner leads the ace. So Alon would be pretty sure that Craig had exactly a doubleton. Okay, so more of high, and we're going to settle for 1 down. Okay, so much for thinking that we might have 4 spades on, potentially. See, these balanced hands have far too many losers in general, and they should be devalued in our bids and invites and so on. All right, so I do think that auction should be, that the outcome of that hand should be relatively the same in the other room. Alon did very well to shift to a diamond, although there is no way the declarer could ever get rid of that diamond loser. Okay, so in the other room, North played in 1-0 trump. It went to diamond, a spade, 1-0 trump, and the South hand decided not to invite game at all, just past 1-0 trump, and that unfortunately went 1 down. So I think we again going at the rate of knots here. I think with quite a big lead being opened by Gauteng in the first set, I get the impression that with the play being so fast, that let me just see what's happened here. 1 heart, 1, 2, 3. 1 heart, 3 hearts was of course an invitational bid with at least 3 hearts. 3 spades, pretty normal, with a 7-card spade suit, 4 hearts and 4 spades. We can see double dummy, of course, that Alon's king of spades here is bare. We can see that card's bare, and the declarer can drop it, but remember, generally with up to 10 cards, for missing the king, we generally do finesse for the king. So, all right, so the best a declarer can often do in a situation like this is to try and count out the points that come out between the 2 hands. Here, Lon has already come up with the ace of hearts and with the king of clubs. Now, the question is, could he have opened the bidding without the king of spades in his hand? All right, so Maureen definitely thinking here for a moment whether she should play that ace and drop the singleton king. Could he have opened the bidding? The question is, could he have opened the bidding without the king of spades? If the answer to that is no, then we should play exactly like she's done here and drop that singleton king. So I think she's figured out that there's some heart honors on her right, and therefore the West hand had to have the king of spades for the opening bid, and therefore she dropped it. All right, so very well done. I think that could be potentially be a swing in the Western Cape's favor. If declarer in the other room does not take that finesse, and they are in 4 spades, or does take that finesse, Western Cape will gain nicely on that board. All right, so don't think with 6 more boards to play here that this match is over. I've seen comebacks with teams being behind by more than 30 imps with only 4 boards to go and being caught by their opponents. It obviously depends on how swingy the boards are and so on. This type of hand, unfortunately, doesn't really lend itself to too much, where we can gain too much. All right, so being in the fourth seat, Imtiaz would be wondering where all the points are, and Beek just have contemplated for a moment whether he should maybe get into the auction with a bid that shows both the majors. Maybe if the Queen of Diamonds was in the heart suit, he would have opted to do so. We want our points to be in our suits, but I think he's pretty minimum, and he's made a good decision here not to come into the auction. Just something to be said about Alon's pass with 8 points. 8 points being as balanced as it is there, we do tend to downgrade that to a 7 count, so therefore no invitation with such an 8-point hand from Alon. All right, so the opponents are going to take the first 6 tricks here, and then the declarer will take the next 7. So a really uneventful hand. All right. So Craigie has counted the diamonds, knows that there's 3 left in Maureen's hand, and he's putting in an early claim for us. Okay, so that we can imagine might be a pretty flat board again. And again, we've got a really balanced bunch of hands here. I think we'll get a bit of action with Maureen opening a diamond, and Alon will definitely come in early this time with the takeout double. Alon's King of Diamonds is well placed over a potential diamond opening bid, and he's got good tolerance for all the other suits. So again, as we saw in the previous segment, where it must be right to take action on these hands immediately. Don't sit and wait for it to come back to you later, and you will be under more pressure to take action. Not too much can go wrong here when we take action immediately. Our partner will generally bid, and we'll know how many values he has, or the opponents will immediately outbid us, and we'll know that the auction didn't belong to us after all. Okay, so for it, I do feel that that North-South will reach a North-South should and will probably reach a 3-no trump game here. Okay, so 2 clubs, not 100% sure what that is, but I do have a feeling that it probably shows some sort of good raising diamonds, and it was alerted by Imtiaz as such. I'm not quite familiar with their methods, but rather nice action, being able to show such a hand at such a low level. Partner can sign off in 2 diamonds now with a really crummy hand. All right, so Imtiaz's 2-spade bid here, essentially having denied 4 spades over the double, raising the diamonds first, is a type of stopper showing bid, which encourages partner now with stoppers in the other suits to bid no trumps. He obviously is worried about the heart position, so and here he has now extracted the 2-no trump bid from his partner, being happy to bid no trumps with a heart and a partial club stopper. Generally, we're not too worried about unbid minors in this type of situation, but we are definitely worried about, do we have stoppers in the majors? So nice game reached here by North-South. I don't think this is beatable on any lead. That will definitely help Declarer, give him the tempo to set up clubs and diamonds. Although there's still a lot of work to be done, I do have a feeling it might still get beaten. Yeah, a double dummy, it does go one off. Declarer just has to do too much work, so the defenders will get two club tricks going, will lose a diamond and a heart, and really can't build. The only place where we can build a ninth trick with the diamond finesse being off, we've got 4 diamond tricks, 2 club tricks, and 2 spade tricks. Now to build a heart trick might not be that easy. I just want to see. Okay, let's see. Okay, now Declarer does have the opportunity to build a build that heart trick. Declarer should be probably being in the dummy, maybe be taking a heart finesse soon. Okay, so Alon had to switch to something. I just can't quite work out what. Oh, I think at the time, with him still having the ace of clubs and the ace of hearts, and Declarer not quite having built his tricks in those suits. If Alon went in with the king of diamonds, switched to a small spade, that would dislodge one of the high spade honors, and when he then got in with a club or with a heart, he would be able to continue with those spades. So at this point in time, this is making, if Declarer just sets up a heart trick, which again should happen relatively soon. I have a feeling she'll cash her 3 diamonds, eventually ending up in dummy, and then trying the jack of hearts from the table. Okay, so indeed, a very nice gain for the Western Cape on board 4, with the 4 spades making. In the other room, the opponents were allowed to play in 3 hearts, making the Gauteng pair allowed the Cape Townians there to make 3 hearts, to play in 3 hearts. So we had a bit of a double swing there, hence the 13 imps to the Western Cape. So again, I don't think this match is over yet, especially in view of this hand also going pretty well for North-South. We are effectively dealing with a score line of 39-20. So Gauteng still has a bit of a buffer, but that can change very quickly if this board also maybe goes against them. All right, so we can see here the Declarer is pretty cold now for 3-no trump, having built an extra heart trick. All right, I'm not saying I don't think it was easy for Alon to find that spade switch. He knew he was not giving Declarer an extra trick in clubs and building a trick there. So a pretty normal action. I'm just wondering, in terms of spades not really being a suit bid by Imtiaz when he did bid 3 spades, and Imtiaz's hand definitely not having a spade suit really. I'm just wondering whether we should not in this auction have chosen a spade lead rather than a club lead anyway. To lead from 4 to the ace could often give Declarer a free trick. and with known club length between the north-south hands, I might have decided to lead a spade rather than a club. But opening leading is not that easy. All right, so on board 5 imps back to Gauteng. Just want to see what happened there. Okay, so a 1-0 trump opening by Dinia and an invite by Nancy on that flat 8 count, which we downgraded to a 7 count. Not such a good idea. It then went 2 spades by her partner, 2 no trump invite, 3 no trump by Dinia with a pretty good 16 count. We can't blame him, but I believe West should not have invited with that hand. Sorry guys, I muted my microphone for a minute and forgot to switch it back on. So Imtiaz here could have led a club, and maybe that was better. He would have found his partner with 2 entries in hearts to get 2 club roughs. He obviously tried to play a forcing game with his good diamonds and good spade holding. Tried to play a bit of a forcing game to see whether he couldn't force declarer. Sadly, on this hand, it would have worked out better for him to have led the club. And then when he got in with the king of spades, returned a heart to partner who would have given him a rough, and to the ace of hearts for another rough. We can't really blame him for leading the king of diamonds. That might on many hands be the correct offense. Okay, so I don't know where I muted my mic, so I'm just discussing again the result of board 5 in the other room, where Nancy did with that flat 8 count, which we effectively downgraded to a 7 count, did invite, and Dinia accepting the invite with a good 16-point hand, and unfortunately that going 2 down. I do believe that Nancy should not have invited with that flat 8 counts. It's not advisable. Maybe due to the state of the match, and of course not knowing what the score is at this point in time, the total score, East-West might feel with the boards being pretty flat, the first 3 or 4 boards being pretty flat, they might feel that they need some catching up to do and might be pushing a bit, but pushing bridge is very rarely the right way to go. Okay, so a club, a diamond, a heart by the opposition. A 1-0 trump bid by opener now, of course, shows a balanced hand generally with 18, 19 points. It can never be 12, 14 when our partner has not spoken, because we could be desperately short of values, and it's quite dangerous. So when the opponent's overcall and our partner passes, and we now bid 1-0 trump, it is showing the 18, 19 and not the 12 to 14 as some of us might expect. Okay, so Alon buying a pretty nice dummy here. Okay, Marimo not giving up in this auction, quite interesting. With her distribution and her partner having said something already, I think she's within her rights to bid on this nice distribution. Yeah, still a bit dangerous, I think, knowing that there's 18, 19 points on our left, but no harm done. All right, so with Marimo showing 6 hearts, of course, Declarer will now be quite confident and happy that he's got an extra heart stopper. He's ace-9 little sitting over the Declarer's jack-10. After he has won this trick with the king will be another heart stopper, so that's quite nice. I do think that Declarer is probably contemplating letting North hold this trick. And that's quite nice, because North is a little bit end played immediately at the first trick. Nothing that he does can really do too much harm. I do think, though, that he might switch to a club rather than to a diamond. He might even try a spade. With 4 diamonds to the 10-9 in the dummy and a no trump bid by West, I think the club switch will be the preferred switch. Okay, so Declarer trying to build some tricks, spade tricks. All right, so Alon going in with the Jack of Diamonds. That could look to, from North's perspective now, as if, of course, Alon was dealt only the Ace-Jack Doubleton. But MT has played this game before and won't fall for that. Okay, so he's clearing the second suit. He's giving Declarer the club trick, and hope that the lead will come back to him eventually for him to enjoy his club suit. All right, so I think we're going to see an interesting play here by Alon. I think we're going to have an end play on the north hand. At this point in time, Alon will throw MT in with a club, and MT would have to, he will be able to cash 2 club tricks, but will have to play away from the King of Diamonds. And with 10-9 in the dummy and ace in Declarer's hand, we can see that Declarer will score both those tricks. So nicely done by Alon. Again, Alon pretty much had a blueprint of the distribution of Imtiaz's hand, showing up with 1 heart and 2 spades, and a 5-card diamond suit. Maureen had 1, so he pretty much knew exactly the layout of that hand and could manufacture that in play. All right, so okay, so board 6, where Imtiaz and Maureen made 3-no trump. That score was duplicated in the other room. Okay, so being about 25 imps now in the lead with, we do still have the results from board 7 and 8 to come in from the other table. I think we can safely say that it's now getting to the stage that with board 7 being a good board for Alon and Craig here, and 2-no trumps, no harm done on that board at all for Gauteng. We've got to say that unless something really special happens on these two boards, that Gauteng will be uncatchable. But we have seen stranger things happen. So, and as I said earlier, my predictions have been pretty poor. So let's not tempt fate. All right, so with Craigie's preempt and the overcall raising partner suits in a weak manner, looking at all those queens and jacks, that's definitely all that hand is good for. Marine now knows that she's probably opposite the spade void, because five cards in the overcalling hand, 4 hearts, 4 spades for the weak raise, partner rates to be void in spades. So she should have an idea that this hand is going to play pretty nicely, with us being able to maybe cross rough the hand, rough some spades in the dummy, etc. All right, so Imtiaz knows that he's the void. He's got the void. He doesn't know that his partner also knows that he's got the void. And with pretty special distribution, I think he's made a very, very good bid here. If his partner can bid 5 diamonds, with that distribution, I think this is a very, very good bid by Imti. Potentially good. Of course, unfortunately, it can't make. Now, Imtiaz said learning from Aris. Yeah, so Aris is our slam bidding expert. He doesn't let too many of those go by. I think north-south a little bit. I think it's against state of the match bid this by Imti. His partner did have stronger bids to maybe invite a potential slam over the 3-spade bid. And I don't think his bid was badly judged. And I think he is in search of a few imps. So I think hence the punt. Unfortunately for them, this won't make. There's 2 losers on the hand, with the heart being offside and the diamonds not breaking. It would have been a pretty tough task to probably make this hand anyway. With Imtiaz, if we wanted to rough more spades, you would have to use one of his high trumps to do so. So Maureen, I think, is just, she can't really rough spades, but she also has problems to set up the clubs potentially. She would be home though if clubs split 4 and 3. Let's see whether there's enough tricks. If clubs split 4 and 3 and diamonds 2 and 2, we would be able to play ace of clubs now, rough a club, cross to the draw, get to the table, draw a round of trumps, rough another club, get to the table again, drawing the rest of the trumps if they split, and roughing the last club would probably have have brought this home. I don't think finessing the heart is the right play on this. We would have had to build some club tricks. Otherwise, where are the tricks coming from? Anyway, as it is, this will go down at least one trick. I think Alon might think of playing another spade with declarer roughing the first spade in the dummy. That is clearly, she's clearly trying to keep control of the spade position, and no spade return can really do any harm here. If it would have done, if it was a position where the spade lead did do harm, declarer would not have roughed the first trick. She would have let it ride around to a hand, to, let's say, a position of the ace queen or so. So I think Alon is trying to gain control of the hand here by knocking out that ace of spades, knowing that declarer might have problems if she roughed another spade in the dummy. All right, so at this point in time, declarer could still have made it again if the heart split and the diamond split, getting rid of that fourth spade on the ace of clubs, and of course both those outcomes are unfortunately negative for her. So she should lose a diamond trick and a heart trick here. So on board 7 with Gauteng gaining 10 imps on that board, I think it's pretty safe to say now that Gauteng's got this in the bag. All right, so in the other room on board 7, the bidding started along pretty similar lines as in our room. 1 heart, 2 diamonds, double, 3 diamonds, and Nancy just bid 3 spades. Now the problem with her 3 spade bid is that she might just be competing with a pretty average 14-15 count hand. Here she has got a 16-point hand with a singleton in the opponent's suit. Pretty nice cards all over. So I think she should have been a little bit more aggressive on the hand, since the 3 spade bid was purely competitive, and maybe just in view of her partner's takeout, a negative double over 2 diamonds. Normally that's a little bit better than just a minimum responsive hand, and I think she should have taken a more aggressive option there. Of course, that could have well been a gain for them, because as discussed on a club lead, that hand might have been defeated. Okay, so with 6 diamonds going down, we'll have to wait and see whether the other table will get to at least 5 diamonds, I suspect. But that will never be a loss for the Gauteng team, obviously. Okay, so 1 diamond, 2 clubs, 2 spades. I think again here, Marimo, with a void in hearts, might go straight to 4 spades. Imtiaz holding a pretty good hand here. All right. So Marimo with a much better hand had other options probably other than just bidding straight to 4 spades. So in view of that, empty even with a good hand here. Let that go. As the cards lie, with Craigie only having a singleton club, it does look like 6 spades is of course making, because Declaro will win this, take the spade finesse, and even with that losing, Craig doesn't have a way to get back to his partner's hand to cash the other club, or the other club. Okay, so congratulations going all around at the table. A nice, comfortable victory for Gauteng here. It was a most enjoyable weekend, especially with us being able to broadcast some of the bridge. I do think that is the way forward for us to do it. I think a lot of broadcasting definitely has a lot of value. We can learn a lot, share some ideas. So please look out in the future for advertisements advertising exactly this type of thing. We will be doing a lot more of it, and enjoy this wonderful game of us. Maybe lockdown has had positive impacts and outcomes for us, as we can see here. Okay, so knowing that he doesn't need that Queen of Spades to draw the trumps because he's got all the equivalents in his hand. It's just unblocking the suit, getting to his hand, drawing the trumps, and we'll see a claim pretty shortly. Okay, so unfortunately, in bidding the slam on the previous hand, if they were bold enough to bid this one would have had a positive outcome. We are at the mercy of the lie of the cards and a bit of luck involved here. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your bridge.